Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be unhauling some books. So I can't lie, my unhaul stack was looking very precarious, like it was about to topple over, so I thought, well hell, I need to do an unhaul. But I don't actually have as many books as I originally thought I did. I think I have 11 to show you guys today. So all of my books either go to my friends. My friends have already claimed some of these, I just need to send them off, and the rest of them go to charity. I take them to my local charity shop. When I was younger and had no money, I got all of my books from the charity shop, so it makes me happy to donate some more books into there for people like me, past me, to stumble upon and maybe enjoy them more than I've enjoyed some of these books. Some of these books I read and didn't like, some of them I've DNF'd, some of them I read and enjoyed but just not really enough to keep them, and I also have a few duplicates which have come my way either via the publisher or via subscription boxes. So we will just crack on with it, get this nice short snappy video over and done with. And my first stack are the ones that I featured in my unhaul project videos that I've been doing. I say I've been doing them, I haven't done one for a little while, I need to get back on that. But we have The Luckiest Girl Alive by Jessica Knoll. This one is an adult thriller, and I was really disappointed with the twist in this one. It is about a woman who went to this private boarding school, and she's asked a documentary crew to come and film her wedding, and she's also uncovering like her story of what happened when she was at the school. And essentially she's just a really entitled, obnoxious character, which is fine in a thriller because like not everybody's supposed to be likable, especially in thrillers. But the twist in this meant that I just could not fathom why I had to follow this obnoxious character's story, because the actual story had nothing to do with her really, she just happened to be there at the time. So yeah, that one is going. Next we have We All Looked Up by Tommy Wallach. This is a young adult contemporary with a speculative twist about a group of teenagers who find out that the world is going to end. A meteor, I think, an asteroid, is going to wipe out part of the world, and I made it about 120 or 150 pages into this, I think, and I just got really bored, and I did not like some of the messages in here, just like unchallenged fat phobia and homophobia and racism. It's just, it made me feel weird. And then the other one from my unhaul project is A List of Cages by Robin Rowe. This one is a hard-hitting young adult contemporary that is dual perspective, and it is about this boy who has, I think he's assisting the school counsellor as like his senior elective, and the counsellor assigns him a boy called Julian who actually used to be the main character Adam's foster brother. And trigger warnings in this one for child abuse and neglect and also some other stuff, but we do have ADHD rep in here and some other rep. I can't remember this book very much. I read it not that long ago. I did enjoy it. I think that the representation and the messages, the way that they were conveyed, was well done, but this is not my usual kind of story, you know that, so I was gonna want to haul it anyway, and now I remember nothing about it, and it really wasn't that long ago that I read it. So for the ones that I read and did not like / did not care about, we have Tall Bones by Anna Bailey. This one I read because it was the Lamentable Library Book Club book for the month of July. I think the live show was in August for it, and this one is a very atmospheric, like gothic, small town American thriller where this girl left her best friend behind at a party. Her best friend just told her to leave and go and she'd be fine, and she was never seen again. So this follows a lot of the people who knew the girl who went missing, and essentially all of them have these deep dark secrets, and throughout the course of the book we uncover what the secrets are. Some of them are related to the girl going missing, some of them aren't, but I really didn't like the way that the twists and the secrets were revealed throughout here. I thought it took a lot of the suspense out of it, and personal preference wise I prefer really twisty, like fast-paced thrillers, and this one is a lot more slow moving, so it didn't really hold my attention as much. We also have My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. This one is, I don't know if it's like lit fic, a contemporary, or a thriller. I read this last year and I don't remember all that much about it, which is why it is on this pile. I only actually added it to my pile recently. I saw it on my shelf and was like, you know what girl, you don't need to keep this. So this one is a story about a young woman. It is told in 2 timelines, and when this girl was a teenager she was essentially groomed and was sleeping with her English teacher from the age of 15. And in the present day timeline, where I think the main character is maybe in her early 30s, another girl has accused the same teacher of sexual abuse, and the woman that has accused the teacher is trying to get the main main character Vanessa to speak up on it and essentially validate her claim. But the problem is that Vanessa does not see herself as a victim of abuse. She sees this whole relationship that she had with her teacher as like this big romantic affair that they had. I think I gave this 3 stars. I really like books with really dark topics like this one, but this I didn't jive with it. I didn't love it. It does make you feel uncomfortable. It's supposed to, like, that is the point of this book, which was fine. I did feel uncomfortable in the appropriate ways. I don't know, it just didn't hit with me. But trigger warnings in here obviously for things like grooming and sexual assault and like emotional psychological manipulation, but also a whole list of other triggers as well I no longer remember. So if you are interested in this, then please look them up and keep yourself safe. Another one that I heard great reviews for and really expected to love but did not is The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson. This one is an adult horror that is set in this really creepy religious sexist town, and the main character is lured into the Darkwood, which is like this forbidden area that they're not supposed to go into, and given the diary of her mother by the ghosts of witches, and this leads the main character to like a greater, deeper understanding of her mother and the town that she lives in and the way that everything's just really not right. This has a strong religious presence, which is something that I really don't like reading about within the context of thrillers and horrors, because this one also has a big religious presence. Like the purpose most of the time is to be really unsettling, so it's fine for that. I don't know, it just makes me feel really angry, which again is probably the point, but because of how much I dislike reading about religion, it puts me off. But I also just generally wasn't impressed by this. I didn't dislike it. I think I gave it 3 stars, but I'd heard some really great reviews of it and I expected it to blow me away, and it didn't, and I don't remember a whole ton about this now. I think it's going to be a duology, and I'm assuming that the second book must be out soon, and I said that I was going to hold on to this until I decided if I was going to read the next book, and now that I remember nothing about this and I don't want to reread it, I will be unhauling this and I will not be reading the sequel either. The last one that is not a duplicate is Ready Player 2 by Ernest Cline, which I read not too long ago and made a review on, which I guess was a rant review. Did not really intend to go quite so vehemently in that manner, but I did not enjoy this book. So this is a sequel to Ready Player 1, which is a virtual reality sci-fi that is set in this near-apocalyptic future where humanity is essentially on the brink. The world is not good and everybody escapes into this virtual reality called the Oasis. Now, Ready Player 1 was my favorite book of like 2018, or one of them, and it's one of my favorite books of all time. And this sequel was such an obvious cash grab that nobody needed, that it was just painful to read. There were elements that I enjoyed, like there's a second quest in here, which is the search for the 7 shards of the Siren's soul, I think, and I enjoyed the quested elements, although some elements just like dragged on too long, some of them were too quick. It has many false starts, lots of random info dumps that feel like Ernest Cline showing off about how good his imagination is, but in a really like circle jerky bro way that I did not enjoy. And there's also some inconsistencies and poorly researched elements of this, which really annoyed me, because in the quest elements there's lots of random tiny little tidbits of obscure information about random pop culture things, but the schooling system in the UK where one of the characters is from was just not accurate, and it really bugged me. There was also some inconsistencies in terms of the plot, and it wasn't good. I gave it 2 stars, and I don't need this. If there is another sequel, and let us all pray that there is not, I will read it. But I don't think I need this. I'm really torn about this one because Ready Player 1 was my favorite book of whatever year it was, 2018, and one of my favorite books of all time. And normally I keep entire series, but I think the difference here is that this doesn't need to be a series, and I don't know why. It was, well, money, but it was unnecessary. Now for the duplicates, I can tell you a little bit less about all of these because I have not, I've read a couple of them, but the first one I put in an Illumicrate bag because I'll be sending this off to Gavin, and that is She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. This one came in the August Abraxas box, but I already had a copy from I think the July or the August Illumicrate, so I'm sending the standard edition off to Gavin. But this one is an adult fantasy that follows a young girl who is from a very poor family, and when she is a child, her and her brother go to have their fortunes told, and the fortune teller, I think it's just like a standard fortune teller. A seer. They go to a seer, and the seer tells the boy that he has great things in his future, but the girl has absolutely nothing in her future. And then the family is attacked, and the parents and the boy die, and the girl then takes up the destiny of the boy. She disguises herself as him to attend a monastery, and I'm assuming that she starts to pursue his destiny. In the, I want to say May Abraxas box, I got In the Ravenous Dark by A.M. Strickland, which is a book that I got in like the April Illumicrate maybe, I think. And this one has mythology and necromancy in it, I think. Yeah, the main character has to start a war amongst the living, the people of Thanopolis, I think it's called, and the underworld to fix the world, essentially, I think. But like with She Who Became the Sun, I'm only unhauling this because I have a duplicate and this one's going to Ryan. I also have the Owlcrate edition of Witches Steeped in Gold by Shannon Smart. This one is a YA fantasy about two, I'm assuming they're both witches. One of them has been imprisoned and I think exiled, and the other one is the daughter of somebody in power, and I think that they both want to take down the woman who's in power, which is one of their mothers. So even though they should be enemies, they band together to do that. I have the Fairy Loot version of this as well, and I don't think I need two, so this one is also going to Ryan. And for the two that I've read, we have of course Red Rising by Pierce Brown. The sequel to this, Golden Sun, is one of my favorite books of the year, if not my favorite book of the year. But I managed to, through some stroke of incredible luck, managed to get my hands on the Fairy Loot special edition set for these, so I used this as my reading copy, and this is the only paperback I owned in the series. I didn't own the rest, so I don't need this because I now have the special edition set. But this one is an adult sci-fi about a man called Darrow, who is a red in a world where the reds are oppressed. There's a caste system with golds way at the top and reds at the bottom, and the reds believe that they are mining for a very important resource called helium-3 that will help the solar system to terraform the planet so that everyone can escape the dying planet Earth. However, Darrow finds out that his life has been a lie and the planets are already terraformed, and so he joins a rebellion and infiltrates the golds to try and take the system down from the inside. Love this book, just don't need a paperback of it. And the final book is The Last Graduate by Naomi Novik. This is the ARC. This one is the sequel to Deadly Education, which is a YA magic school fantasy that is set in a world where monsters essentially try and eat the children of, this is the wrong way around, they try and eat children who have magical abilities, and to stop this they all go to a school called the Scholarmance to be trained so they can protect themselves when they graduate. But to graduate you have to fight your way out through a hall of these monsters. So the main character is trying to secure an alliance or join an enclave to make sure that she can graduate safely when the time comes. And I have a love-hate relationship with this series. I adore the plot, I love the characters, but I despise the writing style in here. It is very info dumpy in the world building and exposition, and it has a very conversational tone, which I don't mind. I can work around a conversational tone even though I don't love them, but the combination of the two don't really do it for me. So I don't know how this happened, but Del Rey sent me 2 copies of The Last Graduate, so I do still have my arc of this that I've read. It's over there, but this one I don't need, so I'll be, sorry, Hamilton's playing with something, but I don't need this one, so I'll be sending this one to Ryan as well. So that is it. Those are all of the books that I am unhauling this time. I do normally do at least 2 unhauls a year. This one is my second, but I do normally do them before my birthday, which is like late spring, early summer, and one before Christmas. So I don't know if I'm gonna have another haul before Christmas. I hope I do, because I could do with the space still. I'm getting better. Everything's a little bit more organized now. There's only a few books that are out of place, and by few I mean like about 30. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to bring you guys another unhaul, because I am consistently trying to work through some of the books on my shelves and clear out some of the ones that I don't need to keep to make room for the ones that I do want to keep. But I hope you guys like this little unhaul. In the comments, let me know if I was gonna say let me know if you liked any of these, but once again, I always say this in unhauls, it would be very sad if you did really like one of these and I've just unhauled it because I didn't like it. But please don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you wanna. If you head into my description box, you'll find a link to my Goodreads, Instagram and Twitter if you'd like to follow me on any of those, as well as a link to my Bookish Candle website, the Instagram for that, and 10% off discount code. But that's it from me today, guys. Bye! Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you're a
go where nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.